Let's go.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Mel, and welcome to Rejection is a Bitch podcast, episode 4. I'm a master relationship and life coach, and I partner with divorcees facing rejection, discover acceptance within. And today's topic, we're going to talk about the second marriage is always better. But before we begin, please hit that like button for me, subscribe or follow, depending on the platform you're looking at, and comment your thoughts on this topic. I want to hear what you have to say. Please share this with at least one person, help your boy out a little bit. Quick disclaimer, guys. This video is meant to be an encouragement for anyone that's currently divorced or that's on the brink of a divorce. By no means is this my advice or am I encouraging anyone to leave a marriage or anything like that. This is just me giving my perspective on what I believe about marriage overall, and specifically when it comes to the second marriage. Now, I know that title alone, brings up a couple flags for a few people because statistics will tell you that 60% of second marriages end in divorce. When it comes to divorce rates, the first marriage is 41% end in divorce, 60% for the second marriage. And when it goes to the third, it's 73% that would end in divorce. This is as of a poll taken in 2020. The statistics taken in 2020. I saw a poll that says 58% of married Americans admit that COVID-19 lockdown made them value their partners more. Why is that? It's a thing when it comes to marriage. Whenever you have hardships, you have difficult times, you really become closer. You really understand what really matters. And that's why I think COVID taught all of us across the board, but specifically married people. And I know for a fact it brought me closer to my loved ones, and I hope it did the same for you. But if the stats say different, why am I saying the second marriage is always better? I believe the second marriage is better for anyone that does these three things. First, you take ownership and responsibility for the things that they did wrong in the first marriage. As someone who's been divorced, I would say the number one thing to do is to kind of take a broad view of everything that happened in the first marriage. Fortunately and unfortunately, I was separated for 3 years during my first marriage, trying to figure things out, wondering if we're going to get back together. So I was able to process a lot of different things about myself. I did some counseling, did some coaching. I partnered with people to try to find what was going on with Mel, what was going on with me that put me in this position. In my mind, that was failure. Everything about me said, this is who I am, a family man. I come from a 2-parent household. I come from, the church background that makes you believe that marriage is the way to go. So everything in my life up until that point viewed that marriage was a failure. So I had to look at what did I do to contribute to that failure. I had to take ownership for the things that I did, yet and still not completely devaluing myself based on the wrongs that I made. So taking ownership. Number 2, are you focused during the dating game? Have you take a clean interest in selecting the right person? A lot of people are saying to me nowadays that, man, this is a great marriage that you have, or they're looking at me saying you made a great choice. Yeah, I made a great choice in the wife that I currently have, and hopefully soon you guys that have not met her, you will through the podcast. But I made a great choice in selecting her because I took my time to select the right person. I had to find someone that was suitable for me. I couldn't just go along with someone who met a certain criteria that the society says is a great person, or society says makes a great wife. I know exactly who I am. I knew what things I would not put up with. I knew what things about me, ability that this person must have to put up with someone like me. I understood who I am. I'm a crazy guy, to be honest with you. I'm a pretty wild guy. And I need a woman that can tame me a little bit and put a little restraints here and there, but also can allow me to be myself. What is the thing that you need in a spouse? What is exactly what you know that will suit you to the best of your ability? Because, of course, there's not going to be a perfect person. You got this 80-20 rule that people talk about a lot. You may find someone that has 80% of what you want, got 20% of what you don't want. And I think a lot of times with the selection process, what people miss is that we have this idea about what we want, but we miss the people that want us. To me, step one in finding somebody is look at the pool of people that wants you. And from that pool, see the best suitable person within that. I hear people a lot of times saying, I'm not going to settle. I'm not going to settle for less. But are you settling based on a criteria that's out of your coverage? We say it's a lot to men. I'm going to be honest. We say it to men a lot. You out-kicked your coverage. But we need to get to women and say that as well, ladies. Because you're the ones out here saying don't settle. I'm just being real. And just be honest. You don't hear a lot of men saying I'm not going to settle when it comes to the second marriage. Because we typically, just to be honest, men typically come from a standpoint of what is going to best fit my life. Not, let me find this beauty queen. In a typical situation, we got men out here, that will leave a happy home to go find Miss America. That's, to me, it's the 60% of marriages that fail the second time. Because what are you doing different this time, and what are you looking for different this spouse than what you did in the first spouse? And the third thing I think we should do is don't penalize this spouse for anything the last spouse did. That's a hard lesson for me because it wasn't just my ex that I saw certain characteristics in. I saw it in other women in my life. Meeting my new wife, the biggest challenge for me is seeing her as a fresh person where she can develop and show me who exactly she is. I have this concept that I don't think we should trust anyone. I'm going to be honest. The Bible tells me not to trust anyone. Say trust no man. So it took me a while to even relinquish my complete heart to this lady because I was holding on to everything that I had been built up and realized from my previous spouse and other women, but not penalizing this current spouse for anything the previous one did. That will completely relinquish you and relinquish them to find this new way to love. Because there's a new way to love you in this stage in your life that the previous spouse could never tap into because you are new. That's the true question. What is new about you? What is new about you that's carrying over to that new relationship? If you bring the old mindset, if you bring the old thoughts, you bring the old characteristics, you bring the old behaviors from the previous relationship, this relationship will very much so mirror the last. For the 60% of marriages that fail, I'm sure they did not do those three things I just mentioned. You can have that sustainable marriage. I'm a year in, so I'm not giving you marriage advice. A lot of times after a failed marriage, we wonder if it can ever happen for us. We wonder if happiness in a marriage or fulfillment in a marriage, finding the person that we really can spend the rest of our life with, we wonder if it can happen for us. I want to play something. It may sound a little weird, but I want to play something from Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones and let him kind of give us a picture of what we can look forward to.
Have you let yourself get excited about this team yet?
Of course I have. Yes, I have. And I do know that it can happen to us. Will it? I don't know. But one of the things that happened to me that probably was the most productive, positive thing in my career is when I realized it could happen to me. And that went all the way back when I was a senior in college and we won the national championship. Up until that time, I thought that was something you read about or had somebody else's name on it. When I saw I could get to be a part of that, it changed my life.
Listen to what Jerry said here. He said, up until that time, I thought that was something you read about or had somebody else's name on it. When I saw I could be a part of that, it changed my life. It's so difficult to see that a positive marriage can happen for us. Just like Jerry, it's something that you see on TV. Some of us may have friends that seemingly are in these amazing marriages, but it seems like it will never happen for us. I want to help you change your mindset that it can happen for you. It can happen for you. You deserve that if you have did those three things, in my estimation. If you have prepared yourself for this moment, you can have this too. And you don't have to do this alone. I would love to be your coach. There's something inside of you that's bursting and burning to reach that next level where you can accept the love that you have always desired. And if you're ready to make that next move, if you're ready to take that step, you're ready to take ownership. You're focused during the dating process. You want to find that focus. You want to find the correct person. You want to deal with that selection process for you. And you don't want to penalize the next person for what the previous person did. I want to walk along this journey with you. If you're ready to take that next step, hit me on my website, Life Coaching by Mel. Send me an email, melcoaching@yahoo.com, and send me a DM on any platform that you're watching. Let's connect today. Let's grow.